I'd like to offer a few observations of the Gospel according to John, even before the reading. The first chapter is, at least the first 18 verses, is considered a preface. Now, John doesn't write saying this is the preface. A lot of people, scholars, think that this is in response to the rise of what we call Gnosticism, and that may be, and by that means there were mystery religions throughout the world at the time in that Mediterranean basin in the Roman Empire that by secret knowledge one has some advantage for the afterlife, but only by secret knowledge. And John is going against those things as they have arisen even among people who claim to follow the Lord Jesus. One of the things that John does is he's actually using some of Aristotle's philosophy to show that while Aristotle, following Plato, that everything present in this world is a poor reflection of the eternal, Aristotle writes about a first organizing principle by which all the universe is in good order through that principle. And it's really kind of funny if you look at, well, not amusing in a ha-ha sense, but really actually staggering, I should say, to see that there is some similarity between Plato's philosophy about how this world is as compared to the eternal things with Hebrew mysticism, including the very eternal nature of the law. And Aristotle follows this, but Aristotle is much more practical in his application of philosophy than Plato. I don't really mean to get into Aristotle and Plato, but then here I am, here I've done it. Aristotle uses the word logos, the Greek word for word, as the first organizing principle. And at the time of Jesus and earlier on, Greek mythology, understand that the Greek gods all had appetites like human beings. Prior to Zeus and the company of those gods were the Titans who were before. And before that, there was one God of heaven and earth that set everything up, that is unknown. By the way, this is part of Paul's preaching in Athens when we get there in the book of the Acts. But John uses that word logos as the first organizing principle, which is the word John is using for the eternal word, which was with God, was God, and then became flesh, so that you can know personally the first organizing principle, which isn't a principle at all. It's the real person of God who has come in the flesh of Jesus Christ. Now, strangely enough, it seems to me that Jordan Peterson is sort of trying through psychology to get to the order of human existence through ancient scriptures, including our Bible, and most particularly our Bible, and using neuroscience to say that, yes, there is a good order to the universe and there is good human behavior. He's going from a humanistic point of view, but he's doing work that John has already told us, yes, you can know this, and you can know this through the person of the Lord Jesus Christ, and then gives an account of the Lord Jesus Christ. So John isn't just fighting heresy that later crops up. He's a very brilliant philosopher, as well as giving particularities of Jesus not found in the other Gospels, including all the I am sayings. There are no parables in John's Gospel. There are signs, no miracles, but signs of who Jesus is, and sayings of Jesus that he's speaking very plainly who he is. And that's what the trouble is when he gets to Jerusalem. John also has a different timeline, seemingly. Scholars notice that Jesus gets to Jerusalem at least 3 times, whereas in the Synoptic Gospels, it all ends at Jerusalem with one trip. It's kind of clear from Luke's Gospel that Jesus would have gone to Jerusalem on a regular basis, and that's probably true. Somebody pointed out that there are like 3 significant Jerusalem scenes or series of events in 3 different trips of Jesus to Jerusalem that John records. And someone had pointed out that the book of the Revelation also has 3 significant scenes of what's really happening in heaven while things unfold upon the earth. And this person claims that, yes, this John, the writer of the gospel, is the John who writes the book of the Revelation. And I don't have a problem saying that, although a lot of scholars would disagree. Something else about this John, since he and his family are well known to the high priest and high priestly family when we get to the end of it, it's likely this John is not the brother of James, son of Zebedee. And this John never says who he really is by name. So is this a disciple of Jesus among the 12? And if so, which one is he if he's not a son of Zebedee? Some other things is he's a very close witness because he knows some things about Galilean fishing and some other things of the customs of Galilee and the people around Jesus that the others don't mention at all. So while a lot of scholars say, well, this is the latest gospel because of the issues he's bringing up, he's probably, of all the gospel writers, he may very well be an eyewitness of all these things where it's not so clear that the others are. So keep in mind when you read commentaries, there's a lot that persons with PhDs, particularly of the study of John's gospel, as modern scholars may be missing that the ancients knew full well that may be lost to us, or maybe they're just not looking at it because, well, they need to be published by publishing houses that are usually run by universities that may or may not really be invested in the message of these gospels. So if you can, find out what the early church actually said, and they may have it clearer than some modern scholars. I'm sorry to go that way. That may be my issue. Thank you very much. I hope this is of help for y'all.